You just haven't figured out the difference between the rules and the handbook. But here we go. Get your pen and paper for this secret sauce. This is what corporate's not telling you. You follow the handbook, you keep your job. You play the game, you actually run the company. Now, this is the piece that I'm talking about. I've watched team leads, I've watched supervisors, I've watched people in middle management. They can run circles around their executive leadership. Their KPIs are always green. They get fantastic feedback, but they don't move up the ladder. And it's not just about visibility. It's 4 pieces that I need you to get into for the secret sauce. Get your pen and paper. Here we go. Now, in my opinion, the corporate handbook, it has some merit, but the corporate game are the unwritten rules. It is the informal information that nobody really talks about, but I'm going to give it to you straight. So when we begin to look at the 4 pillars that I teach, this framework that I teach to my leaders, the very first one is leadership identity. So in leadership identity, which is the very first pillar, the very first phase, the handbook says this is your title. This is what you do. You're defined by that function. The game says this is your narrative. It's not about what you do. It is about who you are. You're defined by that narrative, and you get to curate that narrative the way you want, but you have to know and understand how to frame it. So in the game, you position yourself as the visionary, as the innovator, as the creator. It's not about you asking for permission. It's about the partnership. And in that partnership, I'm not asking you. I don't need your validation. I know who I am, and I'm partnering with you. You're not beneath me or above me. We are partners in this. We are allies. That is about you knowing who you are and where you're actually going. So that's number 1. That's phase 1. Now we get into phase 2, which is your executive presence. Phase 2 is your executive presence. That says, the handbook says, be polite, dress well, look nice. The game says, be calm, regulate your emotions, be confident. And the only way to do that is to know who you are, which is in phase 1. I build that up. As we're talking in your sessions, this is what we're talking about, because that piece is key in order for you. Your leadership identity is key in order for you to move into the executive presence piece. What you don't realize is that it's strictly about energy management. And when you manage your energy, you manage your confidence, you manage how calm you are as well. So I help you to own the room even when you don't have to. Phase 3, influence, how you connect with other people. Now, here's the thing I need you to understand. When it comes to influence, the handbook says, and hear me good, that decisions happen in the meetings. The game says decisions are made before the meeting. There's always a meeting before the meeting. You just didn't realize. Influence in the corporate game is not about arguing. It's about logic and how that logic is beneficial for both them and you. Boom. The moment you align with someone's motivations and those motivations align with what you're trying to do is the moment you snag them. You just don't know how to do it yet. So stop arguing with people. Influence is not about arguing. Influence is about knowing and understanding how you connect with people. You don't realize that relationship is capital. That is your capital. That is your currency. When you build on those, it takes you to number 4, phase 4, which is operations and scaling. The handbook says do more with less. The corporate game says, and I love this part, the corporate game says, now that I've influenced you, now that we've built that connection, it is easy for us to actually have an interchange of encouragement because you want something from me and I want something from you. But I can scale that because now that you're going to do it, it allows me to take care of other leadership responsibilities over here. You're not there to manage resources. You are there to secure the resources, which allows you to create the machine behind the machine so there's no bottlenecks, and it mitigates any stoppage in workflow processes. So where do I come in? I help you to stop looking towards the corporate handbook to help you win. I help you to look at things from a different perspective. The corporate game, you have to reframe that and flip it so you can get what you want. And as of right now, you're thinking that corporate is going to give you that. No, you have to be visible. You've got to know who you are. You've got to have influence, your executive presence. All of those pieces help you to scale your leadership. The corporate game rewards impact, which means the more impact you have, the better your chances are of moving up the corporate ladder. Now, if you need help, this is exactly what we're talking about. January 24th, 2026. It's a 2-hour Masterclass. I call it Leadership Alchemy Masterclass. Why? Because there are different variables that go into helping you move ahead within your leadership trajectory. If you need more, DanieSheldon.net. You know where to find me. Let's talk about your personal circumstances and how you can move up the ladder. Like, comment, and follow for more.